Hello, good day and welcome. Today I'm going to be showing you an easier and faster way of translating your localization files into different languages. So whether you're using React Native or Flutter or whatever localization library you're using, now this also works for you as well. Now looking at this, we have a clone of an eSound app and I want us to localize this application to Danish. So this method I'll be showing you today will help you localize your app to whatever language you want to very quickly. So looking at settings, let's click on languages. So as you can see, we have only two languages, which are English and Spanish. Now let me switch to Spanish. And as you can see, the app is completely localized to Spanish. There you go. All right. Now let's switch back to English. That's nice. So now let's localize this app to Danish. So let's go to pubspec.yaml. In this project, I am using the Flutter localization and INTL packages. Now, if you're using the same packages I'm using, then you would certainly have these ARB files. You could also be using easy localization package as well, or any other localization package. This technique I'll be showing you today works for it as well. So, if we want to localize this app to Danish, we need to translate the English translations to a Danish translation. Now, traditionally, what most people would do is to copy this one after the other and take it to ChatGPT or Google Translate to help you. But you would certainly agree with me that such method is very stressful and also time consuming. Because if you look at this, it's over 800 lines of statement that needs to be translated. Now, I will show you an easier and faster way of doing this for free. Now, before any further ado, let's get right into it. So the first thing you want to do is open your Visual Studio Code. There's a plugin that was released recently that can help us translate ARB and JSON files quickly. So let's open that and then let's scale it a bit. All right, this works. Okay, so here in our Visual Studio Code, you want to ensure that the same project opened in Android Studio is the same you open here in VS Code. So next, we'll go over to extensions and then we'll search for a plugin named INTL Translate. Nice, here it is. Next, install this plugin because I have mine installed already. This plugin helps you streamline translations, which is so cool. It also supports ARB files and JSON files, and it simplifies the localization of Flutter apps. Since it also supports JSON files, this would also work for the translation files in React Native apps as well. Now, if we scroll down a bit, you can see that for the requirement, it requires VS Code 1.91.1, and also the input file we must pass to this plugin must be the English translation, because if we try to pass in a non-English translation file, it will produce an incorrect result. Okay, this is great. So the next thing you want to do is go over to your Explorer. Now let's close this. Now, since it requires the input to be the English translation, the first thing we're going to do, we need to copy the part of the English translation file. So next, hold Ctrl-Shift-P. Next, we will type the name of the plugin we just installed, which is INTL Translate. Then click on it. Now it tells us to enter the part of our English translation. So we'll paste the part we just copied earlier. Next thing, hit enter. Next, it tells us to select the language to translate to. We want to translate to Danish, right? However, here you can see all the languages it currently supports and we can translate to. So I'm just going to click on Danish and now as you can see, it's already translating. Wow, that's so easy to do. All right, so it takes a few minutes for it to complete translation based on the size of your translation files. And also, once it's done translating, it's going to generate a Danish translation in the same folder as the English and Spanish translations as we have it here. Now, while that's translating, let's go over to Android Studio. Okay, so let's look at how the language localization works in this app. So here we have the language, the name of the language in that language. So for Spanish, it's called Espanol. And then we also have the language code. The code is the most important thing because that's what the Flutter localization package requires. So if we scroll down, Notice that when we click on this, it calls the set language function and we pass in the language code. So we must ensure that the code we are using is correct. If not, it's not going to work, right? So let's comment this out and let's reload. And since this is a global variable, the build function won't really capture this. So we need to go back and come back in again. All right, nice. Now we have it here. So if I click on Danish, it's not going to work, right? My app is not going to be translated. In fact, I'm going to receive a lot of errors, and that's because I don't have the translation files here. So it basically won't work, right? Now let's go back to Visual Studio Code. So great, our translation is complete, and we have an app_da.arb file. Now take note of this. Once you are done translating, you need to ensure that the placeholders are using the same name as that specified in your English translation file. So what I'm trying to say is, now look, if we scroll down, here in end songs, we have this Flutter and andet, which is actually not a correct syntax for pluralizing words in our Flutter localization package. So we need to fix that, right? So to fix that, we go to our English translation and search for end songs. Nice. So as you can see, it translated this plural, which isn't supposed to be the case, right? So we will go back to our Danish translation file and replace that with the correct word and fix the rest. And also andet is incorrect as well. So it's supposed to be order, right? So okay, that works. So let's keep scrolling. And you always want to confirm, right, that your placeholders are using the same name as that specified in your English translation file, and then correct them if they got translated as well. So this is not correct. So I will just copy the artist size and search for it. Okay, it's meant to be size and not the translated version. So we'll do the same for all other parts of the translated file. So one thing I noticed, right, with this plugin is that if you are using an arbitrary placeholder name, it won't translate it. But if you are using an English word, it will definitely translate it for you. So let's keep scrolling and fixing these issues. And now we are done. So let's save it. So you can see, thanks to this plugin, we have been able to translate over 800 lines of English translation file to Danish in just a few minutes. Now that's so cool, right? Yeah. Now let's close this and go over to Android Studio. And as you can see, our app_da.arb file is here. So what we just need to do now is restart our application. Yeah. Oh my. So sadly, we missed a placeholder. So let's copy the key and search for it. Now let's go to our English translation. Okay, that's size. And let's go to our Danish translation and change it to size. And that's it. So let's restart our application one more time. And cool, it works well now. So let's go to settings. Let's click on language. Let's change it to Danish. Okay, nice. So sorry, I don't understand Danish, but I believe that's the correct word for language in Danish. So let's confirm that. And yep, nice. That's correct. Great. So that's it. You can see how fast and easy it was for us to generate our translation files with no hassle at all. We just needed to make a few corrections with our placeholder names. Alright, so power now it's in your hand, right? So it's left for you to check out this plugin, download it, and then start using it today to ease your translation burdens. Alright, take care of yourself. Happy coding.